Even his school teacher called him retarded, which is really quite sad when you discover Elon was homeschooled by his dad. In this episode, we reveal how Elon Musk's hatred of Islam is paradoxically converting millions of new followers to the Islamic faith. During the past 4 weeks, the world's wealthiest individual has launched a crusade against 2 billion Muslims, making himself the new frontman for Islamophobia in the West by using every conceivable racist dog whistle imaginable. From spreading debunked grooming gang conspiracies to promoting Zionist lobby funded Tommy Robinson and amplifying Islamophobic memes, Elon is opening a Pandora's box of vicious hate. A summary of his most recent tweets read like this: Muslims are groomers, Muslim are groomers, I love video games, Muslims are groomers, and why can't people be more positive? But here's the thing. Elon Musk isn't very smart. Okay, sure, he's smart enough to sniff out a good deal wherever he can find it, which is why it's no coincidence that the owner of one of the world's largest social media platforms has suddenly grabbed hold of Islamophobia. At the same time, Israel is doling out hundreds of millions of dollars in advertising to social media platforms to push Islamophobia. Elon's Zionist-funded campaign to denigrate Islam and demonize Muslims is not only failing but also backfiring spectacularly. Because the only thing he's succeeding in doing is bringing millions of new followers to Islam. For every one of his anti-Muslim tweets, there are thousands of more like this, with Europe experiencing a 400% uptick in conversion since 2023. And with 627 Europeans converting to Islam on a single day last week alone. Now there's every reason to believe these rates will accelerate in the coming weeks, months, and years. By amplifying the most rabid Islam haters on this platform and spreading hateful anti-Muslim conspiracies, Elon, without realizing it, is actually promoting Islam to 200 million non-Muslims around the world. This is why actual Muslims aren't bothered one bit by these silly tweets. No Muslim who grew up in the post-9/11 era in the West where mass surveillance and other discriminatory policies were put in place is now suddenly quaking in their boots over comments posted online by this self-embarrassing dork. Seriously, this freaking guy. People realize that the louder someone claims Islam is taking over the West, the more they are trying to divert attention away from who really controls the United States. When it comes to the global war of Islam, I think of the Arabic proverb, the dogs may bark but the caravan continues forward. Because it's worth remembering Islam has stared down much stronger enemies than Elon Musk. From the Mongols that conquered Asia and Europe but met their ultimate demise in what is Palestine, Syria, and Lebanon today, to the Crusader armies that were pushed out of the Middle East, and finally to the US-led War on Terror, which morphed into a war on Islam but succeeded only in bankrupting the United States and its Western allies. Today, Islam is the fastest growing religion in the world, with the global Muslims population surpassing 2 billion in 2024. Leaving the only logical conclusion: the more negative exposure Islam receives in the media, the more Muslims' populations are bombed, invaded, and occupied, the more people become interested in learning about the religious faith of 2 billion people. We have seen this with our eyes during Israel's 16-month onslaught in Gaza, where the Palestinian resistance to Israel has ignited curiosity about Islam among people in the West. From famous celebrities to popular activists with millions of followers, the trend of Westerners announcing the decision to embrace Islam is growing. The keyword here is curiosity. Curiosity leads to investigation, and any real investigation into Islam brings you face to face with the lies you have been told about the religion. In other words, bigots often introduce non-Muslims to Islam, and then Islam does the rest by speaking clearly about justice and the moral universe. You might have heard many stories about conversion to Islam in the West, but one story that stands out is that of Richard McKinney, a former US Marine who served in Iraq and hated Islam so much that he planned to bomb a mosque in Indiana, proving once again that the more a person hates Islam, the closer that person will investigate the religion, leading them quickly to see how they have been brainwashed with misinformation about Islam. The more Elon, Tommy, and company harp on about so called Muslim grooming gangs, the quicker people learn about how rapists and pedophiles are treated in Muslim countries. They also quickly learn that this racist conspiracy has not only been widely debunked but also that it was manufactured by pro Israel groups to divert attention away from Israel's reputation as the rape capital and safe haven for pedophiles in the Middle East. The best part about all of this is nobody in Britain is falling for Elon's racist garbage. Essentially, the only thing Elon has succeeded in doing is providing Islam with free advertising in the non Muslim world.